Hi, I'm here at London Film and Comic Con 2012 with Zach Galligan, who we all know from Gremlins. If I could, Zach, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Hatchet 3 that you've just finished working on.
Well, actually, I'm in the middle of it.
Still working on it?
Yeah, still working on it. I've got another week in the end of July, but it's almost done, yeah.
So how's it been working with Adam Green? He said about you that it was very, you were very professional and it was a lot of fun to work with you. So how's it been working on the film?
Oh, it was great. I mean, he's he's a real 80s buff. He loves almost everything having to do with the 80s music and 80s films, and just the whole, I don't know what you would call it, tone, vibe of the era. So he tries to kind of recreate that a lot. So, the shoot it was a difficult shoot because it was in the swamps down in New Orleans, but it was a lot of fun. I think the director, B.J. McDonald, did a great job. Cinematographer Will Barrett did a great job. Adam did a great job. Very, very, it was very professional. And, it was a tough shoot. We dealt with a lot of difficult conditions, but stuff looks great. Just looks great. And I'm really excited about it.
So what can we expect from the character that you're playing?
Well, at this moment I can't really say too much, but I can tell you he's a sheriff. He's Southern. He's from Houston, Texas. He figures very prominently in the movie. I come on about page 4, and I'm basically all the way through the script. So it's a very nice, meaty part. It's not like it's not a cameo. I mean, you pretty much can't miss me.
That's great. Well, we're really looking forward to it because I'm a big fan of the first two.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be. It's quite different from the first two in a certain respect, but I can't really tell you. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that one. Another film that you're known for supporting is A.D. Lane's Invasion of the Not Quite Dead.
Yeah.
Which I believe you're playing a part in that. But he's been trying to get the film financed for a number of years.
Yeah, a number. Well, you know how it is. I mean, independent film.
Yeah.
It's difficult. He's practically, I think, raised almost all the money via Twitter, I think.
Yeah. I've actually donated some myself.
So. There you go. Yeah. Good for you. So, once all the money gets in and everything gets squared away, we'll see what happens with that. I'm interested and eager to see, what comes with that. So it's kind of a bit of a waiting game with that one.
Yeah. It's quite an interesting idea though that he's had, because he's talking about the fact that it's quite different from any zombie film that's gone before.
Yeah.
In terms of the idea.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, he's a clever guy. So, and he's certainly got the work ethic part down. You know what I mean? I mean, he works. He's up something like 4.5 days on Twitter trying to raise money, which I don't think that was that good for his health. So hopefully he's learned to take a nap or two in between tweet festivals. But should be interesting. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with it.
So if we could take a little step back to early on in your career.
Sure.
Obviously Gremlins is quite a big film for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans obviously here to see you for that. How did you come about getting the role for that?
I mean, how did I actually book the part?
Yeah.
Well, amazingly, I mean, I'd love to say it's a really exciting story, but it's really quite dull. It was a very easy. It's not that it was easy for me to get, but I went in and I met the casting director, and she was like, "Cool, come back the next day." I met Mike Fennell. I was supposed to meet Joe Dante. Joe Dante hates to fly. He was feeling very ill that day, so I didn't see him. I read for Mike, and Mike was like, "Great." And then I came back the next day. Joe recovered. Got put on tape for Joe and for Steven Spielberg. Steven looked at the tape and saw. I read with Phoebe Cates. We read together. And Steven saw the tape and looked at the two of us together and was just like, "Boom, that's it. I don't even want to see the rest of the tape." I think we were like halfway through the tape, and there, I don't know, he saw something, and so that was that.
Yeah. So when you're working with the puppet Gizmo, I mean, obviously we all sit on the screen. It looks quite lifelike and real. So when you were actually on the set, did it feel like you were working with a real creature, or just?
Yes and no. I mean, it did. There were definitely aspects of it that were very believable. But they had no sounds, attached. I mean, they had sounds, but they were like mechanical sounds. You'd hear the kind of the clicks and the whirs and the whizzing and the gears changing and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, that was not convincing. But certainly the movements were, and the expression were very convincing. You just sort of had to block the sounds out.
Yeah. I think I'd like to talk to you a bit about a film that you did called Surviving. I think you did a cast called Ricky, which is quite well received. You worked with Ellen Burstyn on that. So
with who?
Ellen Burstyn.
Ellen Burstyn, yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like working with her? And obviously the film got quite a lot of acclaim for the performance. So.
I mean, it was, you know, she's a very, very formidable actress. Very, you know, her skill set is right up there with the best. So it was a bit intimidating at first, but she was, you know, she was a very warm person. I think she really kind of channeled the whole mom vibe with me very, very nicely, and she kind of reminds me a little bit of my own mom in a way, short haircut and everything like that. So, I mean, that cast, it's a hell of a cast. You had to show up on set, and you pretty much had to have your act together, or else you were going to get your ass handed to you. You know what I mean? So it was great. I mean, from the top to bottom, even the kids, you know, Heather O'Rourke and River Phoenix, who played my brother and sister. Sadly, they're both gone, amazingly, but they were brilliant in it as well. River Phoenix gives an amazing performance for a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, he was a remarkable talent. So
he was, wasn't he? Yeah, he was the real deal.
Yeah, it was a real loss.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
The other thing I think I was talking about finally is the Waxwork films.
Sure.
I was a big fan of the old school horror, going back to Hatchet again. So working on the Waxwork films, you had a great cast with David Warner.
Yeah.
McDowell was in there. So what was it like? What was it like working on those films?
Well, the first one was very laid back and a lot of fun. Cast was great. Everything was great. Second one, they got very ambitious, and we had to shoot A and B cameras, well, actually A and B units, like first and second unit at the same time. So I would shoot one thing and then I'd run over to the second unit, and then the second unit I'd run over to the first one. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So by the time the movie was over, because if you look at the script, I'm in something like 95% of the movie, I was wiped out. I was so tired. There was long days, 6-day weeks, 17-hour days, never a pause. It was a lot. It was a lot. And if you look at the movie, Tony Hickok's, he shoots in pieces. Lots of like shot here, shot there, shot there, close up, insert, etc. So a lot of pieces, and you know, it's fun. It looks great when it's done. It's you know, it's a long process.
So when you're working on something, obviously, where you're with that length of time, with those long days, how do you cope on the set? How do you sort of keep yourself?
Well, you have to be honest, you just have to behave.
Yeah.
You know, when you're done, can't go out and party or anything like that. You have to just go home, go straight to bed, get up and do it.
Yeah.
When you're working and you're completely committed. And when you're not working, you know, then you're free. But basically, you work hard and then you play hard.
That's fantastic. I think that's a great ethic for people to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Appreciate it.